Can you dig this campsite or what? In the last episode, I was in Southern California testing four-wheel drive systems, and this week I'm back in Arizona, and this is why we use our four-wheel drive systems. To take our RVs and overland vehicles deep into the backcountry, farther than anyone else, and set up camp on the edge of a cliff. The view is amazing. It's mid-July 2023, and the United States right now is under a heat dome, which is a weather pattern where it's very hot all over. So needless to say, I'm staying out of the low desert this week, and instead I'm up at about 7,500 feet among the tall trees. It's still warm. As you can see, I have the rear doors of the van open, and just the screen tonight. It's actually getting kind of windy. The temperatures are a lot more comfortable up here. So I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow I'm going to spend a little bit of time at camp and then hit the trail in the van, see where we end up. Out for a bike ride this morning doing some exploring, and I found another really great dispersed campsite. This one is in the trees and a little shadier than the one that I have. Great spot. I'm gonna mark this on my GPS. That ride was a 3¼ mile loop, and I'm marking it on my GPS as a 4x4 track. Although I did it on my mountain bike, it was well suited for a Jeep or a compact overland vehicle. The trail was too degraded and too dense for the van, so I would have had clearance issues. It was a lot of fun though. The question is, what type of campsite am I looking for tonight? There are a lot of cliffside campsites up here, all offering extraordinary views. But I did that last night, and I like to mix things up a little bit. So maybe away from the rim? Last night's view is going to be hard to beat, but that doesn't mean I won't find an equally beautiful campsite, just beautiful in a different way. If you're interested in retracing my steps and you'd like to see these places for yourself, my detailed GPS data is available to Patreon subscribers and also to paid members of Venture4WD.com. Your subscription is appreciated and it helps me keep the show going. Well, that's the end of this track. Just a forest road spur that terminates in a flat area with several fire rings. So there's a lot of dispersed campsites right here. But I'm going to take a lunch break and then keep exploring. And also see what's at the bottom of this hill. I think there's a lake down here. Sweet. Let's go check it out. This feels amazing, with the weather being what it is right now in Arizona. Although I got here on a primitive track, there is a more accessible forest road, so there's a lot of people recreating on the other side, fishermen over there. So while it's deep in the backcountry, it's not exactly secluded, but still, this is a treat. Taking a lunch break, and I'm having my usual. Are you surprised? Yeah, I don't think so. Ooh, that got toasty fast. There it is. That is a decent specimen. My son Cole visited this past week and he was like, "Dad, I have this really great grilled cheese, let me make it for you." So he made this buttery thing on sourdough bread. It had turkey in it, about 20 different kinds of cheeses, and it was a behemoth. It was so delicious. I'm impressed. He's a far better cook than I am. What a perfect campsite. This find exceeded my expectations. I followed a forest road that was a main artery, and that branched off onto a primitive track. I followed that primitive track a few miles, and it led me here. This site is nestled among the tall pines, which offer shade, shelter. Privacy is great. There's a pristine stone fire ring, and someone even left a bunch of firewood. Although this time of year in Arizona, when it's hot and dry, I generally don't do campfires, even if there's not a burn ban, just to play it safe and err on the side of caution. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, or maybe even dark and early, I'm heading to Alvan's, their office in Mesa, Arizona. Alvans is the outfitter that makes this ladder tire carrier that I absolutely love. I love the form factor of this thing. It's extremely sturdy, and I go up and down regularly. I love that. However, I'm changing things up on this side. You saw me earlier today jam my mountain bike inside the back of the van, and that doesn't work so well, especially if Shannon's along and we both have our bicycles. They do offer brackets that allow you to mount a bike rack on top of the box that spans the tire carrier and the box, but with the tire, the box, and then bicycles, it's just too much. I'm out here in the backcountry, I'm getting clipped by branches all the time. I don't want that much stuff on my tailgate. So utility items that used to live in that box are getting relocated inside the van into a sealed case. Box is coming off, and the bracket that holds it is being replaced by an Alvans Sherpa, and there will be 2 vertical bicycle carriers on the back of it. That's all there is to it. Are you serious?
That's it.
That's awesome. That's a silhouette. I hope you don't mind that I'm in the shade of the garage. It's 100 degrees out and the shot looks like a Frosted Flakes cereal confession. The bike racks are by a company called One Up USA. They're extremely rugged and dead simple to operate. You have these 2 arms that you open up and then they ratchet closed over the tires on both ends. And aside from my height challenge, being 5'7" and reaching the upper arm, they're perfect. You just toss the bike up, pull down the upper arm, wrap a Velcro strap around the upper wheel, and you're good to go. The only trade-off that has me just a tad reluctant is that I did find that rear cargo box useful. However, that was mostly when we were living in the van full-time, and lately all I've been going in and out of that box for was the power cable for the 30 amp hookup, hose to fill water, air hose to fill tires. For now, utility items are going to be stored inside the van, but the Sherpa Carrier that Alvan's installed does have accommodations to mount whatever you want. I took some measurements in the space between the bike racks, and it can accommodate a weatherproof locker of some sort, but very unique dimensions. It would have to be no more than 8 inches wide, 4 to 6 inches deep, and maybe 36 inches tall. I did some quick Googling for a box like that, and I don't think it exists yet, but I hope something like that comes to market. Alright, so next on the agenda, Shannon and I are going on an extended trip. We're heading far northwest, and we're going to put it all to video. But next week's video is tinkering and prep, and then beyond that, we're going to cross state lines and see some new places. Thanks for watching, I hope you all enjoyed this week's adventure, and I'll see you next week.